All right, good morning to you out there. Happy Tuesday time once again for catching up with Tommy Mack via the 1010XL family of podcasts. No doubt about that. From my home office slash studio, if you will, a little Florida room as we call it, down here in Florida, and not too hot just yet as it keeps most of the sun out of here for most of the day, but does get warm. We have a little AC unit. I cranked it earlier. I didn't want the sound messing this up, but here we are. It's a Tuesday, brought to you by my good friends at Team Tommy Mack. Of course, you see the J-Dog, man. It's right there. It's right there, and we'll talk about the entire team a little bit later on, but a great group of businesses that do it right every single time. So Grammage and I couldn't get together on schedule. I'm trying to get out to practice, which I'm going to go to practice. I did not go yesterday. I was going to go, and then I ran out of time. But I'm going to go today. I moved my chiropractic appointment around. I've had this crick, man, and it starts here, and it goes down into the back, and, it's a mess. It's just a mess. Anyway, so I'm going to get fixed up, and then I'm going to go head down to practice, and then I got Dad Bod's rehearsal tonight as we're breaking in a new bass player. But great to be here. Great to be alive. Hope you enjoy the photos as I do. Always fun to reminisce, at least in my opinion. But lots to get into. We'll look at the Jaguars and the Bucks that were. I know I did it a little bit yesterday. We'll do a little bit more today. I've got some more thoughts on that. We will take a look around the National Football League. We'll very briefly. Interesting things going up with Tua and Flores. I want to talk about that because I saw this other video of this special teams coordinator ripping his special teamers. And I mean calling them out like, yo, so-and-so. Yeah, do you start? Are you a star? How many Pro Bowls you been to? Look at this crap. He's saying he misses a block like on punt. I mean, just getting after him. It's a tough balance, right? But we'll talk about that. And then we'll get into, who's on the bubble cut list, if you will. Listen, I was on the bubble more than once. For sure in 95, maybe not so much in 96. 98 I really was. I told you the other day, man, I was coming off my ACL and I did not have a good camp. I finished strong, but I didn't start strong. So I know what it's like. I think I've told you, if you've read my book, you've heard it. That's not a plug, but if you want to check it out, we'll always be pals. The Last Words of a Dying Father and a True Hero. But the night before our last preseason game, was the fifth one because we played in a Hall of Fame game in 1995. My linebacker coach, Steve Zabel, came to me. He's like, look, you're going to play a lot tonight. You got to have your best night or you're not going to be here tomorrow. The cuts for the next day. And ended up having a good night. We played the Rams, had about 6-7 tackles, had a sack. Just basically because he broke contain. I ran up and tripped him. Basically. But nonetheless, had a productive night and then ended up keeping me. And the rest, as they say, is history. But I know what it's like, man. It's tough. It's a tough time. You've been dreaming your whole life, especially if you're, a rookie trying to make it, or maybe it's probably even tougher once you get cut and, you're at it again. And then if you get cut again and then you're at, I mean, look, I told this story too. Tommy Waddle, my good friend up in Chicago, who was a Boston College alum, he would come back to BC and work out when he was done. And he said to me, I was a sophomore, and I think he just signed with the Bears because he was older than me. I never played with Tom. And he said, you got to give it 3 tries, Tommy Mack. You got to give it 3 tries. If it don't happen in 3 tries, then and you move on with your life. And that really stuck with me. It's funny when you have these conversations throughout your life with just whoever, random people, various ones, just comments, little comments or sentences or whatever, they stick with you. That always stuck with me. And the Jags were my third and final try for sure. I was gonna call it a day if it didn't happen. So I feel for these guys that are fighting for their life, man. It's what they want to do. This is their NFL dreams. This is their NFL life. These guys will all go home and most of them will dominate all the amateur leagues across your town. So don't worry, they're coming. But they'd rather be playing in the NFL. So we'll look at that, and then we'll try to get into it. What to look for against Atlanta. I know what I want to see. Starters are going to play about a half. Good, okay? Good. All right, let's go back to the Jags and the Bucks. Who really stood out? Mac Jones for sure. Listen, there's no debate, and whatever side, there's just not. He's you don't pay a guy that kind of money and have a competition. It's not happening. It's not happening. But I will say this: I understand why they wanted Mac Jones. He can run their offense. He can run it. He's efficient. He puts the ball in a good spot. Not always, and it's easier said than done, but he does. He normally puts the ball in a good spot. So I think I get it. I get it now. No disrespect to C.J. Beathard. I think C.J.'s a great backup in terms of what backups need to be first and foremost, and that's being there for the starter. Giving him some support. Show him, hey, look what I saw. This is what I saw. I'm only here for you. If they need me, I'm ready. But it's more than that. You got to win, and we all know based on last year. When Trevor was hurt, if they had Mac Jones last year, and he's playing like he is now, and again, it's preseason, you got to taper everything, please. You got to taper it all, because there is a curve, if you will. No disrespect to the second and third teamers. I was there too. But it's different when you go against the starters. But these are big times, big moments. So. But Mac Jones, he would have played last year and probably would have wanted give him one game, right? You got to think he'd win one game, I would imagine, and that's all we needed, and we're in. So I get it. It's all good. I think he looks good, and he'll be a good backup. And look, Trevor, time to shine. Big year for Trev. But there is no debate. So let's just stop the debate. I mean, it's ridiculous. The guy got his money. And at the end of the day, that's going to play. The money plays. High draft picks play, and the money plays. All right, Parker Washington, great night. I watched it again. Man, great route on the slot. And I know, does he replace Kirk? Hey, Jesse, good morning. And Dale, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. Does he replace Kirk? Yeah, he does. I mean, look, he looks great from the slot. I don't know if he can line up on the outside and be that effective. Maybe he can. I'm not saying he can't. But I know he's really effective off the ball because he's very shifty. He's not necessarily like wicked fast. He is strong for his size. He's not a big guy, but he's strong and he's built. He's just not, he's not a long, tall, rangy type receiver, but he's not short either. I don't even know what size he is. His calves are unbelievable. They look like they've been implants. I'm not kidding. I know that's weird. I look at stuff like that, but look at those calves, man. Those are like implants. But no, he's better in space. Off the ball, move him around. I think he's really come together. Look, he's got to catch the ball and get open. And he did that the other night, and he's been doing it all camp. I think Tank ran like his name. Tank is running good. The only concern would be just make sure you're holding on to the football. Got to hold on to the football. We all know that. But he looks really good. Austin Trammell, all camp, that kid, all he's done is caught passes. That's all he does. He reminds me, I told you, from North Dallas 40. Remember that movie? He reminds me of Nick Nolte's character. Minus the cigarettes and cocaine and whatever else they were doing in that movie. But he catches everything. He does. He's not overly fast, but fast enough. Here's the thing about this speed. Do you have to be fast? Yeah, I got to be fast enough, right? You got to be strong? Yeah, I got to be strong enough. I got to be smart enough. I got to be quick enough. But you don't have to be the fastest to be fast out there. You can beat him with quicks. But I'll tell you what, he's impressive. Do you keep him over others? I mean, Tim Jones is a gunner. Elijah Cooks is a gunner. Elijah, I mean, so much potential. The kid's tall. He can run. But, man, he got to catch the rock. Now, the first one I get, it should have been a better throw by Mac. It wasn't. But the second one, come on, man. That was a big one, and they needed that one. Hopefully you get some more shots, but this is when they make those, you're on the bubble. This is when they, if you make the catch, you move up. But you don't make the catch, they all want you to make the catch. And then you don't make the catch, and you're like, It's not a total, dent, but it's a demerit. And then you're like, you got to overcome it. So hopefully you can do enough on on special teams, and we'll see. And who else did I have? Oh, yeah, Foster, the tackle. He doesn't seem ready to me. I don't think he's ready to come in and play if he has to. Again, I'll go back to and it's all about the O-line. Everyone's worried about the O-line. I've got some ideas, but they are worried about it. I get it. For now, again, it's preseason. There's no game plan. There's no cut blocking. There's no stuff like that. I don't know. It's pretty vanilla. Look, they're going to go against an interesting defense with Atlanta. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm a little concerned. But I'm not overly concerned yet. I want to see him in the regular season. I would have invested in the O-line. You know that. They didn't. They invested in weapons. It's fine. Look, Brian Thomas Jr., total stud. If you can get him the ball, he's going to be dynamite. And hopefully you can. But look, backups, you gotta start and you gotta fill the void. You gotta be almost as good as the starter, and hopefully you are. But we'll see about him. But I just don't feel like Foster's ready quite yet. Defensive side, look, I'll tell you one thing. That run defense was soft. I don't know what everyone's looking at. I watched it again. You got run all over. We scored and it came right down the field. You didn't do anything. I know you're good on third down. You were good on third down last year. Your offense sucked on third down, so it really didn't matter. You got the ball back. They gave you the ball back. You gave the ball back. They got the ball. It just went. It never went anywhere because they weren't good on third down either. With that being said, Mason Smith, I want to see him next to Eric Armstead, don't you? Don't you? Talk about a big young man. He's still got a ways to go, but he's got what you're looking for. And I think he could be plugged in right away. I called him a project. I don't know if he's a project in a sense that he's still young, but I don't know if he's that much of a project. I think he's going to be a problem for other teams. I think guards are going to have a hard time with him. Big young man that can move and he's got long arms, strong. Jordan Jefferson, I saw you play a little bit. I'm glad to see you out there. Man, I need more out of you, man. I need a big week out of Jordan Jefferson. There's some competition there at that defensive line. He's only a fourth-round pick, and I don't only, but he is. It's not like he's a second-round, and I know there's a cutoff. You don't want to get rid of your fourth-rounders either. I get that, but it's not third and up. Those guys got to make your team and be starters. Fourth and down. You hope they are. And if they aren't, then, sometimes you miss. I'm not saying they miss, but sometimes you miss in that regard. But let's see if he can get it together. I thought Azezi, again, had another one. Otto Wehu, if I get that right. I may be keeping him over Tyler Lacey. I want to see another week. I'm not ready yet. Abdullah making plays. Maybe he is a Sam backer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's a good off the ball linebacker. I didn't think he was, but he's making plays, so good for him. You got to call it like we see it. Ventrell Miller, I know you got the cast. You're there. Just got to make those tackles. Travis Gibson, man, he's one of my guys. So is DJ Coleman. He's making my team, man. DJ because of special teams, and I think he gives you something in a rotation type setting. And Gibson, that guy can rush. Travis, number 50, can rush. Want him on my team all day long. So that's very interesting. Look, this is what I'm thinking on offensive line. And I know it's starting to percolate out there. I'm not saying I was the originator, but I've been looking at this for a couple weeks anyway, maybe a few. Cole Van Lanen should have a shot at guard. You watch him at right tackle. He's a big guy. Really good athleticism. He's tenacious. You watch him. He finishes blocks. He likes throwing guys around. I'm not saying he's going to be your starter. I'm not saying he's not. He won't be day one because Ezra will be. And it may be Scherf too. It depends what happens. But I think Cole Van Lanen deserves some reps at left guard. And I'd like to see that. Or right guard, whatever. I don't really care. I know Cooper Hodges played right guard. I watched him a lot this past weekend, this game, and I watched the tape. And he should make the team too. I'm not as high on him as you hear out there. I think he struggled a little bit. He didn't struggle. A lot would be too much. A little bit would be too little. Somewhere in between. But he struggled in pass protection against Tampa. And I'm not just talking the sack. You go watch. He had a few. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 where you're concerned about it. I think so anyway, looking at that. He's on the team, don't get me wrong, and I think he's got a nice future. He's good against the run, it appears. He seems to be pretty good against the run. I know the one play with Logan Hall kind of pushed him back, but it's kind of a pitch, outside. It was early in the game, I think, first quarter. But nonetheless, I think Cole Van Lanen deserves a shot at guard. And I think Darrell Williams deserves a shot at number 2 center. And look, you don't want to get rid of third rounders. I get it. And I don't like anybody getting cut, man. I've been cut. It's a terrible feeling. It's awful. Man, you got to go home and fucking deal with, people looking, they know the story, especially in a smaller town. There he goes. Oh, he wouldn't go, didn't make it, couldn't make it. You want to beat them all up, but you can't. But that's why you dominate in amateur sports, I guess, pickup games. But no, it's, I don't want to see anybody get cut. But, look, I think Darrell Williams, I don't know if he can pull as well as you need him to, but he's physical. And I think he'd be a nice physical backup if we needed one for Mitch Morse. He was close last year. I thought Darrell Williams had a shot. He's number 60. I thought he had a shot last year sticking around. But I know Cole Van Lanen. To me, I want him. I mean, look, right now, just say the starting 5. Just say they're the best 5. Just say they are. The starting 5 right now are the best 5 on the team going into 2024 regular season. Fine. Number 6, you want to say Little as a swing tackle because he can play left? Okay. Who's after that? Who? I think they thought it was Blake Hance. I don't think it's him anymore. I think they thought it was Cooper Hodges. I think they're hoping it's Cooper Hodges. But I don't know. I don't think he showed that that's a cement locked and loaded deal. I don't know if they'll give Cole Van Lanen the shot, but if I'm him, man, I'd be walking in. The old line coach would be like, "Hey, coach, can I have a shot at that guard, man? Put Sutherland out there." Who's not bad. I don't see him making the team, but he's pretty decent too. He's not a bad lineman. So I don't know, man. Fortner just, I don't know what it is. He's really, he's so athletic. I'm telling you, he's so athletic. He's got to be smart. He's got these degrees in all types of engineering and stuff. From what I'm told, a smart dude. He's not physical. He doesn't look physical, but he's really athletic. I don't know. Maybe he catches on. Someone can light it up for him and, light the match and get him going. I don't think he's just, I think other guys are better. I think other guys have played better, if that's fair. And I hate to say that, man. I'm not, I don't like people getting cut. That's their livelihood. It's not like he doesn't want to be good. It's not like he doesn't want to make the team, but something, I see him dip his head a lot. You can't dip your head when you're playing O-line. You just can't. You can when it's, you're going right at the guy, but you can't in pass pro. You can't go like that. You can't see. You can't hit what you can't see, But anyway, I think Cole Van Lanen deserves that shot. And quite frankly, I want to see it. I do. I want to see it. I think he could be an interesting one for me. Anyway. All right, look around the NFL really quick. Jaden Daniels becomes Washington's starting QB. Cool. I get that. I thought he was a great prospect coming out of LSU. He's dynamite with his feet. We'll see about his arm, but it sounds like he's doing good. Mark Andrews, did you hear about his car accident? Had a nasty car accident driving back to practice during camp. I guess they can go home, or maybe it was to the hotel. It could have been that. Nasty one. A couple of people got really hurt. Looks like he's going to be okay, but that was a little scary. And then Tua was on a podcast, Tagliova. I think I always just call him Tua because I butcher names. Sorry, Tua. He said that Brian Flores, the way he put it was, well, how would you feel if someone came in and told you basically sucked every day and you're not good enough for this job, and yada, yada, yada. And, man, I don't know Brian personally. He's a Boston College guy, but I don't know him personally. I mean, that's just, man, that's like way, way too much. I mean, come on, man. Don't you want your QB, like, confident? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you? I get making them earn it. Like, there's some of that making them earn it, but beating them down like that, my gosh, what are you doing, man? You ain't doing yourself no favors whatsoever. But I don't know. And then I saw this, I was telling you, this special teams coordinator. I want to say it was Washington, maybe. Don't quote me on that. But it's a coordinator, and he's showing special teams tape. And guys missing blocks and not giving effort and doing one guy did something silly on the field, and he called him out. He called him out directly. He's looking at him like in the yard. Maybe it was Hard Knocks. I don't know. I don't watch Hard Knocks. Correct me if you guys seen it, or tell me if you have. But he's like, "Yo, so and so, what you are you a starter? Are you an all-star? How many Pro Bowls you been to? Let's look at this. What kind of crap is that? Huh? What are you even doing here, man? Maybe you should watch the game from the bench. Is that what you guys want to do? You want to watch the game from the bench? Because this is crap." And he called out player after player after player, right? That's okay, right? You got to, I think, now listen, some guys can't take that. They couldn't back in my day either, man. They didn't like it. They didn't like being called out like that. Those were fighting words. Then you can't get over it because you're so, hyped up because you want to fight the coach for calling you out like that. But he's speaking the truth. Now, Flores was doing what he's doing, man. That's pretty dumb. Why would you do that? I get being hard on guys. I don't have no problem with that. And, it's all about the delivery nowadays. It is. It's, back then the delivery, nobody cared. Like I didn't care. Beat on me all you want. I don't care. Whatever. I'm here to play ball, and I'm here to, be hard on myself. So you can beat on me. I'm beating on myself even harder, right? I'm looking in the mirror even harder. So it was the way. But you got to deliver it differently. But if he was doing that, that's pretty dumb, man. You want your quarterback confident. You don't want your quarterback heads in the clouds now. He's got to put his feet on the ground and get to work. But nonetheless, interesting story coming out of Miami, I guess. Anyway, they're gone. It's over. We got them week 1. How confident are you, Jag fans? How confident are you? Taking on Miami. Down in Miami, not Miami, Lauderdale. I don't even know why you ever took the Dolphins out of Miami. So dumb. Whoever came up with that fucking idea. Seriously. It'd be like taking our Jags and going to St. Johns County. Like, what? What are you talking about? Anyway, we'll see about that, man. Tua's looking good. They're feeling good. Who's going to cover Tyreek Hill? That's what I want to know. You better hit Tua. You better get to him. We'll break it down a little bit later, a little early here. Of course, you see my shirt with J-Dog. Hey, man, you know what? This is a cool shirt. Let me just show you real quick. I know it's not 4th of July, but I was feeling a little patriotic, looking for a shirt, trying to give everybody on Team Tommy Mac some love. I've got a little love, of course, all around. J-Dog Junk Removal. They'll take care of your junk, and they will remove all your construction debris. Check them out at 844. Get J-Dog. Chris Lucero's bail bonds. Don't get thrown in the clink, but if you do, he gets you out in a blink. The number 1 name in the bail game is Chris Lucero's bail bonds. 904-822-2245. He is fantastic. I've seen it firsthand. Carpet Man Flooring. LVP. I'm supposed to be getting some LVP shirts, man. Can't wait. Hope they're nice and tight. T-shirts coming from Carpet Man Flooring. Get it all types of flooring. Highest quality, lowest prices. Everything from tile to carpet to luxury vinyl planking. Code Ninjas, man, they got 4 great locations all around Jacksonville, all around Duval, and St. Johns County. They're working on others. And out west, they're out at Fleming Island as well. Get your kids into Code Ninja schooling. I'm telling you right now, you are going to learn not only about coding, you learn about security. You're going to be building games. You're going to be having some fun. And I tell you, when you get through that school, and you can start as early as 5, your certificates that you have, you're pretty locked and loaded. Even maybe to get a job right after high school, possibly, depending on what you do. But it's a great start. And we all know where technology's going, so get your kids a shot at it at Code Ninjas. Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's. It's Family Traditions SpecialtyFoods.com, okay? And you're going to see this. Oh, let me tell you something. And I'm no bullshitter. I was never a hot sauce guy. I mean, a little bit, a little bit on the eggs, like corner, a little tiny bit. And I'm still not a, like, all over the place kind of guy. Like some people are like, wah, wah, wah. I am not. But let me tell you something. This sriracha, Coconut Joe sriracha, absolutely dynamite. Perfect spice level for me. It's spicy. It doesn't blow your head off, but it's spicy. And you can get it at Family Tradition SpecialtyFoods.com. Put in pound Team Tommy Mac and get a BOGO. Just throw that in the discount code bar, and that'll happen. Michael Nicholson, State Farm Agency. Been my agent for 20 years. Let him be yours. At least get a quote from him. He's got a great team, 24/7 availability, and they're always there ready for you. I'm talking auto, life, home, and even supplemental health, business, personal. He's great. He's been mine for 20 years. I highly recommend him. 904-777-6888 for Michael Nicholson, State Farm. Salt Air Inn and Suites. Just a kick-ass boutique hotel. 4 blocks from the Atlantic Ocean, on Atlantic Boulevard in Atlantic Beach. 4 blocks from the ocean. 3 blocks from all the action. Actually, maybe 2 blocks from all the action because the big hotel is right in front. But you go to a boutique hotel with concierge service is what you get at Salt Air Inn and Suites. Yeah, I actually helped put that financing together for those guys. And they're great guys, man. They Kurt and company, they turn that into a great, great little boutique hotel. Whether you want to get away for the night or the weekend, or come down for the week, you Northerners, come on down and enjoy Atlantic and Neptune Beach at Salt Air Inn and Suites. Newmark Phoenix Realty Group. I've known the Phoenix boys and girls for over 20 years. That was my first job after being done with football. Unfortunately, I was done with football, but I had to face the real world. I was married and a newborn on the way, my Avery Ann, and I started with Phoenix Realty Group. They're now Newmark Phoenix Realty. They handle all your commercial real estate needs, industrial, commercial, development, investments, office, retail. They handle it all, and they do it great. They are the best commercial real estate house in Jacksonville. Check them out, 904-399-5222. I don't work with them anymore, but they are all still my great friends. I mean, seriously, JR, one of my good buddies. See him quite often and love spending time with all of them. Freedom Finance, new to Team Tommy Mac, but tell you what, if you've got a company, small business, looking to grow, maybe early stage, you need a fractional CFO, which means what? Kind of for-hire CFO. You bring in my man, Courtney Myers, who owns Freedom Finance. He's got a CPA background, right? He's an accountant by trade. He'll help you raise money, help with forecasting, help him with the financial side of your business. Listen, on Tommy Mac Consulting, I have this consulting business where I connect people. It's very important to make sure that your finances are in order, man. There's no question about that. Whether you're just starting up or getting going or even midway through, man, make sure you get them caught up with Freedom Finance. And Azar Sauce is the best in town. It's all over town. I hear it's a native son now. Congrats, Azar fellas. You guys are the best, and we love it as well. Whether in your favorite whether in your favorite dish or in a bun, Azar Sausage is the one. Yeah, get them at Winn-Dixie. Now get them at Native Son and your local grocers. They are fantastic. I want to thank 1010 XL family for having me. There you go, man. Yay. Fucking love Team Tommy Mac. They're just good people. And they get it done. And you need that. You'll need those every so often. You know you do. You mentioned Tommy Mac. They'll take care of you. And by the way, with my consulting, I connect these people all the time, man. They're doing some business together, which is absolutely fantastic. All right, let's get into back to the Jags, of course. Who's on the bubble? Who's on the cut list? Right? Like, who do you think is going to get cut, or maybe sent to the practice squad? Right? Kind of hide them on the practice squad, if you will. Beathard, what do you do with C.J. Beathard? You're going to try to put him on the practice squad. Somebody may grab him. They may. You're not keeping 3, I don't think, but you need an emergency QB, so he's there. Call him up when needed. Listen, those guys make some pretty decent money from what I'm told. Hey, give me 2 seconds. I got to turn my fan back on. It's getting a little hot in here. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. It's actually AC unit. I'm going to turn that bitch on. Because it's hot in here. It's so hot in here. Oh, cool. Oh, no, there you go. Crank it up. Crank it up. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that pause in the program. But the management had me, turn on. There was some complaints or something. I was getting a little hot in here. All right, but who's on the bubble? Beathard? Yeah, that's what look, Mac Jones is our backup. C.J. Beathard, we'll see what happens with him. We know who the starting running back is. We know Tank's the backup. I thought Jalen Jackson was looking really good in camp. I don't think he showed that much this past weekend against Tampa. He needs another week to decide between him and Dearness Johnson. I thought he had a leg up, but I think it's pretty close now. And I think it's going to come down to the last week and the last game. So once the starters play, then it's all right. We got guys right there. I told you my story. Hey, Tom, it's tonight or you're done. Like last game, I know you're playing a lot. If you don't play your best, you're out. It's over. And I was done. But I went out and played well and, man, made the team. It was absolutely insane coming from where I came from. But nonetheless, so these are big moments. So Jalen Jackson and Dearness Johnson both got to have big weeks this week. They'll do it Friday. I mentioned Elijah Cooks, Austin Trammell, Easton, who had a touchdown grab, Williams, Cephas, and Mims. I think the last four, they're on the outside looking in between Cooks and Trammell. Don't forget Tim Jones, Tommy Mac. Tim Jones is a gunner. I mean, he's a special teamer. I don't know if he gives you much work on the offensive side of the ball. He's had occasion opportunities here and there. Cooks, same. He's a gunner and he's good. I mean, listen, this kid is tall and fast, and I think he can catch the rock. I don't know. He needs to hit the jug machine is what he needs to hit, I guess. But you can't deny the production of Austin Trammell. You can't deny. And it's, by the way, it's not just in the preseason games. Every time you see it, like you see him make a catch, touchdown catch in practice, you're like, that kid don't drop a thing. I mean, just doesn't. And he gets open, Sometimes, look, you got to look past the measurables. No, he's not 6'1", 200 pounds and run a 4.4. He's not. I don't know what he is. Probably 5'9", buck 75, 80. He's got good size, so he's not skinny. Maybe runs a 4.6, 4.5, maybe. I don't know. But he's not a blazer. But guess what? He can get open and he catches the rock. And at the end of the day, that may be good enough. The problem is he's not a gunner. I don't think he's fast enough to be a gunner. You got to be special to be a gunner. There's no doubt. That's a special job. That's a specialty position. That's one of those glue positions I talk about a lot, right? You got the grunts, the glue. You got to have those guys that have to be at the top of their game and really good. All right, so that's Mims, I don't think so. Williams he always seems intriguing to me, but he just doesn't pull away at the end. Cephas started strong, but Cephas, sorry if I got your name wrong. Easton, that opened an eye because he caught the touchdown, but not enough, I don't think, to get in front of the other two. Tight end, we know the three are going to be here. Jaguars, the fourth. Will he find a spot? Depends what he can do on special teams. That's going to be tough. On the defensive side of the ball up front, I think it's very interesting. I do. I want to see more Jordan Jefferson. I think it's a big week for Jordan because I might be at the ilk. Is that the right word? It sounds close. I don't know. It might be. That Jordan Jefferson could replace Roy Robertson Harris, possible. I think they like Ledbetter. I think he can do the job. I think there's a reason RRH has been playing a lot in games. I do. But with that being said, I don't think Jordan Jefferson has taken the job. Granted, he's been injured, so last week was his, I guess, first full week back. That's why this week I think is a big week. I think it could come down to both of those. Because you keep it, Mason Smith, starter. Devon Hamilton's staying. Eric Armstead is staying. Right? There's three interior guys. You've got Josh and Trayvon. Right? You got Gibson. There's 8. They get to 7 or 8. Then you got between those two. I don't know. You're going to keep 9? You might. I don't know. Are they keeping 10 offensive linemen? I don't know. I think right now I got Cole Van Lana at least 7 and maybe higher. Maybe higher. My opinion anyway. We'll see how that all works out. But he's got to finish strong too now. He's got to finish. It's a big week for him too. If I'm talking to Cole Van Lana, man, you got to finish. You're not there yet. You have not arrived. You got work to do, but you can get there. You can get there. I think so. Anyway, Sutherland, look, I think he's interesting. Maybe he goes on the practice squad. Stephen Jones, I don't know. I know he came in late. Might not have had a really good opportunity. It's a big week for him to show that he can hang and be a part of it. What they do is Shatley. I think it's practice squad. Oh, what I was going to say earlier, these practice squad guys, from what I'm told, 2 years in the league and up, you're making like $400,000 for the 17 or 18 or the 18 weeks. So it's not like the rookies. I think were making 10 a week, $8,000 a week, something like that. These guys are making a lot more than that. So that's not a bad gig. $400G, be on the practice squad. I don't know, especially later on in your career and you get a credited season. Yeah, that's where it really matters for Shatley anyway. Fortner, I just don't know. I mean, look, you don't want it. The thing that saves him is his third-round status. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. You don't want to cut a third-rounder. You don't. Makes you look bad. Makes you look really bad. Makes you look like you missed. Going into this year, we wondered about Chad Muma. But Chad has shown up. Chad's had a great camp. Chad's making plays. I see why they don't know if they want Devin or him, starting. I think Devin will end up starting, but I can see Muma playing a lot. They got to stop the run, though. I don't know. I'm not happy about the defense stopping the run, but it's preseason, so I'm not that concerned overall. I think Ledbetter's got a shot. I think Otto Weho, I tell you, I might keep him over Lacey. I might. Tyler made a couple plays. He's on and off. I know he's a draft pick. Raymond Johnson III, he made some plays, number 92. He's not going to make it. Maybe on practice squad. Again, not a bad gig. Ledbetter, I told Graziano, he just got here. And then Jefferson. Yeah, I think Jefferson, man, you got to up the ante this week. You got to make sure, you got to show them why you should be on this team and in the rotation. Then linebacker, we know who is safe, Muma included. But then you got Miller. I think Miller's safe. I think Ventrell Miller's in there. He's a good player. He gets to the ball very good. Abdullah Yasir making plays. What do you do with that? You probably thought 4 weeks ago, he's out. He's not going to make the team. And now you're sitting there going, well, he's making plays. He'll get picked up by making those plays. No matter how we feel or anybody feels about him, he'll get picked up in my book. But you got Caleb, who's had a good camp. I'd like him to take it a little bit more. I think he could have a big week. Parker Jr.'s and Muse, they're just kind of sitting there. Maybe I don't know. Because you're only going to keep 5, I think, right? So Caleb would be 4, right? You got Aluakin, Lloyd, Muma, and Caleb, Yasir, Parker Jr., and Muse. There's 7 to keep 5. Tough, man. I've been there. Gosh darn, I've been there, man. Ooh, you got to have a great. You just got to have a great week, man. You just got to just say, you know what? Just fuck it. Just go for it. Just go for it, and let the chips lie, man. You can't control anything you've done in the past. You just got to have a great week. You got to have a great week. I hope they do. I hope they make it tough on them. I hope they make it really tough on Trent and Doug and company to make this tough cuts to make, because I know they can be. That linebacker room's going to be interesting. DB, same. You know who the starters are. Devon Campbell had a tough night, but I think they like him, but enough to keep him. Maybe practice squad. Trey Flowers, I don't think is just number game. Edmonds is a stud. Are you kidding me? You're keeping him. He thumps. And it's number 34. What's his name? Meso. Oh, what's his name? I wrote it down too. He's a thumper. Amos. Amos. Dyslexia. Amos, number 34. He can thump, man. He's good. Hallett's got to be there. They love him on special teams. Love him. And he's had a good camp. Amani Oriwari, I don't think he's going to make it. I don't know. I like him though. He's a big corner. He's a big corner. And then DeAndre Prince, they say he's in, but I don't know. I don't think he's had that great a camp. He's been all right. Of course, Jerry Jones is making it. He's had a really good camp. Savage, in. Cisco the Kid. Antonio Johnson. Tyson Campbell, right? Absolutely. All right, let's take a look ahead, shall we, to the Friday night game. Final preseason game. I like that the starters are playing because if you don't play, what's this week? Today's the 20th, Tuesday. Friday's the 23rd, right? And then you don't play till what? The 11th, right? The 8th, the 5th. No, it's no, I don't know. It's one. I think it's the opening night is the 6th. Is that correct? Anyway, it would be a long. What I'm getting at is it would be a long time to play and in a game if you didn't play your starters in this game, right? If you just played them last week and be like, all right, we're done. Like they're doing with Michael Penix supposedly in Atlanta. Hey, what the hell is that? Now, what does that mean? He's my starter and I'm saving him? I think I'd still want to see him play. I don't know what they're doing there. I guess that $180 million in guaranteed money's in the way. To Kirk Cousins. All right, here's my concern going in. Can we stop the run? And can we run the ball a little bit better? And quit calling stretch plays into the short side of the field, please. They don't work. They just don't work. It's like trying to throw a square peg in a round hole. You know what I mean? Unless you break it. It don't work. So quit doing that. They got a good defense. They had a good defense last year, of course, with Ryan Nielsen. They've added to that defense. Calais, of course, was there last year. Bates last year. Grady Jarrett, really good player. Judon this year and Justin Simmons this year. I mean, they got a pretty good outfit on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see how many starters actually play for them. For their side. Not really sure. It's funny, all these depth charts on ESPN now have the nickel back. Like everyone's in nickel so much that they just put it out there. It's a very important position to have top of the line there, without question. So look, I want to see if we can run the ball in these guys. I want to see if we can stop the run. It's no easy task. They got a pretty good offensive line. They run that zone blocking, or we're running it. Maybe they change it. Chris Lindstrom, Boston College guy, but a really good guard. If you want to check out guard play. Jake Matthews, of course, their left tackle. He's all right. Nothing. I don't know if he's elite yet, but he's good. Of course, comes from great lineage. And then we'll just see how many starters actually play. Can we cover Kyle Pitts? Is he going to play? I don't know. Cousins? Heineke? Who's going to be the QB? No Penix. Interesting. I want to see, so on offense, I wrote this down. Efficient offensive drives. Scoring drives, but efficiency, right? Good rhythm. Good flow. Good confidence. My quarterback not under pressure. And look, if you got to make a change, you got to make a change. I don't know. I'm not. The only change I guess I would look at, and I know some people are down on Brandon Sheriff. I'm not yet. I'm not. I think he's still got some stoutness to him. He's been beat though. I know. I'm not saying he hasn't. Maybe they'll game plan a little bit. These guys run a 3-4, so maybe they'll game plan a little bit. And they're going to have to against Grady Jarrett. He's a good player. We'll see how much they play. I'm glad we're playing, 2 quarters. That's good. Look, I feel good about the team overall. you know, I really want to see just a really good showing by our quarterback Friday night. I think it's important. Like to see him, light it up a little bit. I like to see our offense, in rhythm and flowing and making big plays, both in the run and the pass. And, hopefully we get that. If you haven't seen the Jags play, you're going to see him Friday night somehow. Brian Thomas Jr., legit, smooth, legit. I'm telling you, he's a weapon and a half. He's going to be tough. Parker Washington's up to his game, without question. Kirk's still injured. They're going to hold him out. Means Parker's going to be needed even more. Tight end, strong room. I like the tight end room. I like the starting 2 running backs. I think they would start on a lot of teams, ETN especially. They're using him in the pass game. I think that's a really good thing. I've been calling for that. I'm glad they listen. I'm kidding. But he's a weapon. He should be used like C-Mac out in San Fran. He's got that kind of ability. I like our receivers. I think Gabe Davis is going to be a great, tough receiver for us. I told you about Thomas Jr. Other than that, I don't know. Really, who's going to catch it is Trammell. Out of the, not including Ingram and the tight ends, like after Kirk and the other 2, like who do I think is going to catch it? Tim Jones, Elijah Cooks, Austin Trammell. I'm going with Trammell. Who's better on special teams? The other 2. It's going to be a tough pick. I bet you they go the special team route. You got to do, if you're not starting, you got to be really good on special teams. On D-line, I'm looking forward to seeing I think Armstead and Mason Smith can form a tandem. Of course, Josh expected big things. Trayvon, no question about that. Gibson's shown he can rush. I like him. Number 90, Sezzi, I like him. I think he's done some things. Lacey's had a good camp. I'm not down on Lacey. I don't know. I don't know how they really feel about him. He'll be right there, though. Big week for him. He's got to show that he's the man, too. It's a great week. A lot of guys, you think about it, a lot of these guys, they'll get some guys will get, they always say, you're playing for other teams. Well, the reality is most of the guys that get cut don't get picked up. Some do. I know that. But the majority don't. They go back and they're deciding if they're going to hang around, work out again, try it another time, or are they going to hang it up and be done, That's where they're, some of them are at. Some aren't. Some are like, I'm going to play XFL or UFL or arena ball and keep it going, and hopefully I get another shot at camp again. And all depends what you want, I guess, how old you are and what you're going to do. But it's a big week for a lot of football players this week in the National Football League. And I wish them all well. I tell you, there's nothing better than being able to call home and telling your mom and dad that you made the team in the National Football League. Especially if it took you a minute to get there. It's a great feeling, a glorious feeling, and you earned it. And that's the best part of the whole thing. So it should be good. All right, I got to get rolling. I am going to go out to practice today. I am going to go out. I got a call, a Zoom at 11, and then I'm going to my chiropractor to get this kink. It's been bothering me. Oh, such a pain in the butt. But it's okay. I'm okay. And then off to practice, and then Dad Bod's rehearsal tonight. Yep, breaking in our new bass player, Dwight. He's doing a great job, so looking forward to all of that and more. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to Team Tommy Mac. Thanks to 1010XL. Thanks to all of you, man. Really appreciate you. You guys, I saw all the lists come in, and that's fantastic. We'll do it again from the home studio. You've been listening to Catching Up with Tommy Mac here on 1010XL's podcast platform, via Facebook, and now shared all over platforms and social media. Until next time, stay safe, be cool, and we'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Have a great day, everybody.